Hello, I'm Nikki Schiller. Welcome to the programme. We start with our breaking news. Iran and Israel have been launching new strikes on each other as direct military conflict between the two countries goes into a second day. Now, I'll take you to the latest pictures in a moment, but we want to start with the key developments this hour. Iran has targeted ballistic missiles at Israel as its supreme leader vows to inflict heavy blows. It's now being reported that at least 3 people in Israel have been killed. The Israeli Defense Forces says it is continuing to strike targets in Iran. The IDF says they are aimed at removing threats. Previously, nuclear sites and military leaders were targeted. The UN says 78 people have been killed. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei has accused Israel of starting a war. Israel's UN envoy Danny Danon has called Israel's operation an act of national preservation. President Trump has called on Iran to strike a deal with Israel over its nuclear development, but talks scheduled for Sunday seem unlikely to go ahead. In the last hour or so, Jordan has said that it has reopened airspace. It had suspended flights due to the strikes. Well, let me take you to the live pictures from Tel Aviv. Our team in Israel say that when the sirens sounded just before dawn, millions of people across the country sought shelter. The authorities in Israel don't allow us to share the exact location of missile strikes for fear it will provide useful information to the Iranian military. But I want to take you to some pictures from central Israel. Now, this is where there was a direct hit by an Iranian missile on a residential building, and in the last few minutes the Israeli emergency services have confirmed that 2 people died when that residential area was hit by a rocket. We're told it was a woman in her 60s who was rescued unconscious and without vital signs, and also a man around the age of 45 who the Israeli Emergency Service, the MDA, say was pronounced dead after being evacuated. You can see that there is still an operation going on around that area where that Iranian rocket hit that residential building. We understand around 20 people were also injured in this particular incident. Israeli media reporting that across the country 3 people have been killed. And I want to show you some of the pictures that we've been getting in. You will see the moment that that missile hits. Now, the Israeli military says it has been intercepting missiles throughout the night. You can hear in the background the air raid sirens have been sounding as people went to their shelters. Now, in Iran itself, explosions have been heard just outside Tehran, and several blasts were heard at the city's Murabad airport. Now, Iran's raids are a response to Israel's attack on Iranian nuclear and military targets early on Friday. Iran says 78 people were killed and 320 injured in Israel's initial attacks. Well, the Iranian leader Ayatollah Khamenei says Israel has launched a war and will suffer heavy blows in return. Last night, there was an emergency session at the United Nations Security Council. And despite Washington's efforts to distance the US from any involvement in Israel's strikes, Iran's ambassador to the UN accused the US of complicity. Here is some of what he had to say at that session a few hours ago.
The United States' complicity in this terrorist attack is beyond doubt. The officials of the United States have expressly and brazenly confessed their willful aid and assistance in the crimes and gross violation that Israeli regime committed as of last night, including the deliberate transfer of arms. We will not forget that our people lost their lives as a result of the Israeli attacks with American weapons. These actions amount to declaration of war.
Well, Israel's ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon, also accuses Iran of intending to destroy Israel.
We know our enemies. We know their ideology. And when a regime builds ballistic missiles, enriches uranium to near weapons grade and openly declares its intent to destroy us, we believe them. We take them at their word. And we take action before it is too late.
And there was this stark warning from the US representative at the Security Council meeting.
No government, proxy, or independent actor should target American citizens, American bases, or other American infrastructure in the region. The consequences for Iran would be dire.